Sit back and relax while you listen to Train Kickers podcast. I'm Dave, and along with my co-hosts Dan and Steve, we're going to take you all around the world of miniature wargaming. On tonight's episode, we're going back into the Liber Imperium book, and in particular, we're going to be talking about the assassins, so the Divisio Assassinorum. Much like all the other deep dives that we've been doing, we're going to go through each of these. We're going to talk about their general rules, the rules specifically, and tell you a little bit about our thoughts on all of this. And now, on to the show. All right, gentlemen, how are you on this now late Wednesday? Because someone had to drive home and eat, like a responsible person couldn't do both at the same time, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Listen, man, if I could just stop at like McDonald's or whatever, I would, but then I would die. So
that's true. There is corn in the outside world.
Yep.
Just everything.
Allergies are great. Yeah. Great dieting plan, let me tell you. I'd be twice my size if it wasn't for that.
You can't get fat if you can't eat like any food.
So you think that, but I put my work in freshman 50.
Yeah, hold on. I was going to say,
there's that one pizza place in Hoboken. There's that one pizza place in Hoboken that I lived off of, and it's permanently in my DNA now.
I don't know. I was going to say vegans prove that wrong all the time.
Some of them do. Yeah. All right. So we'll stop razzing Steve and we'll get to what we wanted to do tonight. So as we said at the top, the goal tonight is to go through the Divisio Assassinorum. So this is going to be from the Liber Imperium book. Do we have what page it starts on? I don't have that in front of me.
It starts on page 112.
112, and it runs to 125. So not terribly long. We'll see how long it takes us to get through it. But as always, our goal, we're going to go through all of those. But we are going to start, and maybe I'll start it out because I'm already talking. Why not? Just going over the basic rules for assassins. So for this, we're just going to start with their subtype. So this is stuff that they all are going to have. We'll talk about their subtype. Then we'll talk about how you include them in your army. And they actually do have an advanced reaction. So we'll get into that. For their subtype, so all the assassins that we're going to talk about have these set of rules guaranteed. One, if you're an assassin, you ignore all movement penalties when moving, charging, anything like that. So you're never slowed, and you automatically pass dangerous terrain tests. So terrain is never a problem for them. We're going to see later with their advanced reaction, they can even go through impassable terrain at certain times. If a model has an independent character special rule, they cannot join a unit that only has assassins in it. So your assassin would have to be with someone else for an independent character to go in there. They don't trust them. If you're an assassin model, you cannot go into a transport. And they leave this very basic, just anything that counts as a transport subtype. So you are on foot slugging it no matter what. And if you had the assassin type, they're never allowed to be your warlord. What you're going to notice for, I believe, every one of them, unless I missed one, they all have support squad anyway, so they can't be your only choice of an HQ. They can't fill your compulsory, and they can't be your warlord anyway. So the other thing you take, or options you take, have to do it instead. Does anyone else want to go through how to include them in the army, or do you just want me to do that as well? I'm fine doing it.
We should preface it by also saying that, lo and behold, just like we said about the Sisters of Silence, that they are agents of the Imperium, so technically they can't be allied with Sisters or Custodes, but 99% of people ignore this.
Well, they actually do work.
Yes.
Because they go to the Team Force org.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They work just fine.
Oh, okay. So it's just the Sisters problem then.
Because the Sisters is a separate army. These guys aren't a separate army. You by rules, like you couldn't take an army of these guys if you want. It's not like 40K. I don't know if 40K still does it, but at one time in 40K, your army could be assassins and then like maybe you throw something else if you need to. They don't work that way here. So let's
good.
Yeah, let's quickly go over how you include them in your army. So this is particularly if you're looking at this from page 112. I'll paraphrase it a bit, but if you're looking, this is where it tells you how to include them. But for this, so you can take a single operative, so a clad operative, so choosing one of them from these army lists in your primary detachment. So your primary detachment's allowed to have one. It takes up the force work slot as normal. They're HQs. but it's unaffected by levels of alliance, and they're always treated as distrusted. In case you haven't looked at this in a while, distrusted means essentially you're on the same side, but you're not allowed to work together. You don't count as an ally in terms of, or a friendly in terms of spells, psychic powers, anything like that. You're an opponent that you're not allowed to target or fight. Being distrusted adds the extra bit in that you can't score or hold objectives. So no contesting, no scoring, anything like that. No scoring. Can you contest? I don't remember.
Oh yes, you can, and we'll get to that a little bit later because there's an assassin that breaks this, but you absolutely can contest.
Okay, so you contest. I know you can't score them, you can't hold them. I couldn't remember about the contesting part because I read this
absolutely
before.
Contest.
I'm just going to quick look either way. Where am I? Yeah, they never count as scoring, cannot hold objectives. Okay, just wanted to check. Makes sense that they contest then. If your primary detachment has one of these operatives that's a loyalist, you have to be loyalist. The other part just talks about the fact that they have a tactic, so they have their own advanced reaction, which we'll discuss. So their advanced reaction, it's necessary for them. It's absolutely necessary. It's called tactical displacement. So might paraphrase a little bit of this because it's a little long. So you make it in the shooting phase whenever an enemy unit targets a unit that is composed entirely of models with the assassin unit subtype. So you're firing at my assassin. Now, they say models, but by rules currently you can only bring one. There might be some other models that have it, but just out of these guys, it's one. There is some other things though. The reacting unit immediately makes a move equal to twice the majority initiative characteristic of that unit. You can move in any direction. You ignore all terrain or anything that would limit your distance. You do have to end more than 1 inch away from any models, and you can't end an area terrain, but you are allowed to move across you can't end an impassable terrain, but you are allowed to move through it. So if there's some impassable terrain, you're allowed to pop out the other side. It specifically calls that out in here. If when you're done moving, you're in a position where they can't see or shoot you, that unit, then the shot is canceled. They do not get to select another target, but if they had any weapons that either say get hot or one use only or anything like that, they don't count as having been done. Essentially, the entire attack is canceled, but you're not allowed to target anyone else. That's going to be really important because for most of these assassins, they're probably running on their own very often. Not 100%, but they're distrusted. They're not allowed to go with anyone else. Off the top of your guys' heads, is there anything that would allow them to be with another unit?
Can they? Here's a weird question. Can they be with another assassin?
By
you can only take one.
Yeah, so by rules, yes. But in your primary, you're allowed to take one.
So there might be some future... I forgot the name of it. I was going to say emissaries. That's not what the word is.
Always write rules in a future-proofed manner.
Yeah.
It might just be like a future exemplary thing where it's like, oh, here's the dudes who try to assassinate Horus, which was basically one of each of the assassin clades. So maybe it's like, here, take... God, this had a 40K name to it, and I don't remember what it is, and it's driving me up the actual wall.
Well, because it was a box at one point. But remember, for the 40K one, it was only the first 4. The other ones don't exist.
True, but what I'm saying is, like, it's still the same name. It was like a kill team. No, not a kill. Point is, it's probably going to be like in the future, there's going to be some exemplary unit where it's like, hey, you wanted to take all 4? Ta-da!
Yeah.
And, you take it.
Yeah, no, it's good to future-proof it. I did read it a few times just to be sure we didn't miss anything. If anyone knows a way that you could take someone with it, but I personally, for the moment, don't know. But the reaction is great. It is absolutely strong. It's absolutely necessary. You are probably going to need to get out of line of sight because you're most likely standing on your own. And as we're going to see, you can kind of show up on the board almost anywhere to start with. Yeah. So you're going to need to potentially get movement or get out of line of sight.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
But you can use this multiple times in a game, right?
No, it's an advanced reaction.
Did I miss the part where it says you can do this once per game?
Don't advanced reactions have that built in?
No,
am I going crazy?
Interceptors are advanced reaction, for example. Death or Glory is an advanced reaction.
Then.
So I think
if you look at the other advanced reactions, so the book I have on me closest is my Loyalist book. So if I go to, where am I close to? I'm to White Scars, yeah. So it talks about all of that. And the first line of their advanced reaction, as well as all the other Marine reactions, is this advanced reaction may be made once per battle in the blank, whenever you're allowed to do it. This doesn't say that.
I'd say yes, then.
Well, no, absolutely you can. You can only use it once per shooting phase, obviously, because the same unit's not allowed to react more than once. But you can use it turn after turn.
That's actually pretty damn powerful.
That's really useful.
Yeah, that's really super useful. I was going to say using it once on a 4-up is like eh.
Let's be honest though, you're
multiple times.
You're going to use it at most like twice.
Yeah,
because you're just going to probably be dead. But it's good that you get that second attempt out. All right. Anything further on their sort of basic rules?
Just one thing. I'm going to do a little bit of spoiler here. Every single assassin in this book is locked to Loyalists. I don't know how fluffy that is. I thought that some assassins went rogue.
I think that GW already said that they're making traitor assassins.
Okay. Yeah. Specifically,
I know. Yes. Specifically, I know they mentioned, I think, a Dark Mechanicum one.
Yeah, they'll do it at some point. But I didn't notice the last few book. Ooh, that's a good question. I don't play stuff out of Mechanicum books, so I haven't stared at it enough.
Go ahead. What was the question?
Isn't there a Mechanicum assassin in the Mechanicum book?
No. Okay. So we haven't reviewed Mechanicum yet, but very quick aside, that is not technically an assassin.
Is it or not?
No, it's not. So it is an assassin by name.
But it's not part of the Assassinorum.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not part of the Assassin Clade. It's basically those 40k models that's like the souped up crazy assassin units that the Sisters of Battle use, and they're basically like drugged up
the Arcoflagellants.
Yes. Arcoflagellants, but like Mechanicum version. That's what they are.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's not an assassin. That's a little bit different.
It's not an assassin, but they are used for that.
Well, being used for a purpose like an assassin.
Exactly.
I mean, tons of models in this game, an assassin's goal is to kill something. Most of the models in this game's goal are to kill something, but they don't fit the assassin subtype.
What?
I said most, not all.
We kill things in Warhammer?
You don't have to.
That's true. All right, Dan, I challenge you to make a hugs-only army list. For not next week, but the next event.
Yeah, pretty much.
3,000 points of hugs.
Yes. I believe in him. I'm sure he can find a way to break the game where it's all just hugs.
Yeah.
Anyway, the assassins.
All right, Steve, why don't you take the Vindicare? Because that will put us in a perfect spot for Dan to get the Callidus when the time comes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll do that. All right, so the Clade Vindicare Assassin. 125 points, like all the other ones are going to be.
Yep.
Movement 7, weapon skill 4. I love this part. Ballistic skill 8.
Fun table.
That's a 2-up, and then let's see, a 6 is a 6 is a 6.
A 6 is a 6.
7's a 5.
So it's a 4.
8 is a 4. Yep. So it's a 2-up, 4-up to hit.
Yeah.
Ew. I love built-in rerolls like that. Strength 4, toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 5, attacks 3, leadership 10, save 4-up. You get 1 Vindicare Assassin with an Exodus rifle, an Exodus pistol, the Panoply of the Assassin, the Trajector Auspex Array. They're going to be a character model, an assassin model, and the light subtype. They infiltrate, they scout, they're a support, quote-unquote, squad. Basically, they can't be your compulsory choice, and they're locked into Loyalist.
Remember that the Panoply means you have a 4-up armor and 4-up invul.
Yeah.
That's all that means.
Nice and simple. Make it sound so fancy. It's a 4-up.
Yeah.
So that Auspex Array means that when they make a shooting attack, you can ignore the effect of special rules of war gear that would modify or limit the range, and anything that will modify to hit rolls. Special rules in war gear that modify hit rolls. So technically, night fighting would be a problem. except your ballistic skill 8, so it's not that much of a problem. Although technically,
no, that's a special rule,
right? Night fighting.
No, so night fighting I don't think applies because it says ignores all the effects of the effects of all special rules that modify or limit the range and to hit.
Yeah,
night
that's
fighting is a special rule that modifies your to hit.
Yep.
As well as your range.
It's a
he doesn't
mission
care.
special rule. I was thinking of like model, but no, that makes sense.
It's just pure special rules. Yeah,
logically that makes sense too.
Yeah,
nice. So
you don't care about
it on the 2 and then try again for a 4. Love it. And then we have the Exodus armaments. So the rifles is I hate when they do this. Range 100 inches.
For when you're playing,
that's not even a real measurement. That's not even a real number.
Okay, here's the odd part about that. Okay, they wanted to make it 96 or 120 or
108 and be 9 feet like weirdos, 120 and be 10 feet. 100 inches? Yeah. That's not a real number, Games Workshop. What are you smoking?
Well, so here's my question, and maybe this is what Dan's going to point to. In old Epic, were the assassins in Epic?
No, they're not. But I was just going to reference that.
That's what it sounds like to me. That's an epic number.
Yeah, it reads to me like an epic number. Like someone was doing centimeters and be like, "Oh shit, we can't do centimeters. Just make it, make it."
Yeah, it was 100 centimeters because then that works well. Yeah, that's how it feels to me.
That's what I was thinking. Oh man, you caught that right in the nose. I was going to make that joke actually. No, that's what it feels like to me too. Don't worry.
Okay,
I hate that so much. Like
at least it's not in a squad size.
Weird numbers. Volkite is based on 15s just because it's supposed to be weird tech, right?
Yeah.
This is just 100 to make me annoyed. Anyway, range 100 inches or 8 foot, and anyway, 8 foot 4.
I'm putting money down.
8 foot 4.
It was supposed to be
strength
centimeters.
7, AP 2. It's heavy 1, murderous strike 5 up, rending 6 up, and sniper. Now, question. Is moving and shooting a heavy weapon count as a special rule that affects your hit roll?
Ooh.
I'd say yes, because heavy weapon is a special rule.
Well, right? It's a type.
Yeah. Well, okay.
That would be...
Games Workshop, we need answers.
Well, not... Because it doesn't have one, or because we don't want to bother looking it up? Because I'm looking it up right now.
Because I'm lazy.
Okay. Heavy is just
I'm going to ask this question. Someone else.
Oh, wait. Here's the thing. No. Or war gear. Yeah, because the special rules or war gear. What page am I on here?
Lol.
Well, Dave was ready for that answer. At that point, why make it heavy? So you can't charge afterwards, maybe?
Probably.
Yes.
But I would argue that because it's the Vindicare and we know what it is, it's a super sniper.
He could just do it anyway because
they could do it anyway. Assassins. It's one of those things. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 360.
That's 100% what I'm going to argue. It's a fucking Vindicare. They train for like 30 to 40 years of their life.
Only ballistic skill 8.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you know, I'm not sure if this was the Callidus assassin story or a Vindicare assassin short story, but there was a short story where literally he waited for like a month on the sniper target and he sniped him, killed him after the month, and then dislocated his shoulder to crawl through like the pipes to escape.
So that doesn't say move and shoot to me. That says stay still.
Okay, so here's how I think this would work. For clarity, actually, so would you? So heavy just says it forces you to do snapshots. Would you say snapshots is a special rule?
Yes.
Games Workshop, we were doing so.
To me, yes, I would call snapshot. I would say that it's not because of heavy. It's because you get snapshots, which is to me a special rule, and he ignores that. Just let him shoot even if he moves. It's that simple.
Yeah, it's not something that's going to break me.
He's not going to break you anyway, because he's 125 points and he gets one cool shot.
I'm psychologically broken, but that's a different thing entirely.
You made yourself sad with that one.
I am.
All right.
I mean, it's 8 foot 4 inch range, and it's heavy, but it doesn't matter that it's anyway. And it's got a really cool pistol. Really cool pistol. Cool. Range 12. Strength 6, AP 4. Well, that's kind of sad. but it's pistol 3, so 3 shots, breaching 6 up, and sniper. Yay. Sniper pistol.
So should I feel not underwhelmed?
No, he's underwhelming. I was just going to make. Why would I take this dude when I like? For example, I look at the Alpha Legion Exitus, right? Cool model that they just released, by the way. I look at the Alpha Legion.
Not released yet. They've shown it, but it's not released yet.
Oh, sorry. They released the picture of, I should say.
Yeah, they've shown
it. Yeah. Why? Like the Exitus is just better in all regards.
His weapon's what, brutal too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Murder Strike, I
actually
think,
works against Primarchs, and
I think it's Murder Strike too.
Yeah.
Ironically, it's just I don't know. I
don't know about the Murder Strike. That could be true. I don't have that bat book in front
I don't
of me.
have it in
I know
front
it's at least brutal too, because I've had a librarian killed by it before.
Oh my god. No, it's to me it's just literally like I don't know why I take him.
The problem is, okay, anyone can access him. Yeah, 100-inch range, you can hit just about with anything you want. Like we said, you should be able to move and fire no problem. Mobility is an issue. You can infiltrate and scout. You're wherever you want to be. The problem is your good gun is one shot. Yeah, it's Murder Strike 5 up, but Murder Strike 5 up is only good if you get it. And, I mean, it's AP2, so if they fail, say an invul save. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, Murder Strike doesn't do you any good.
So it should have been, in my opinion, if you really wanted to represent him, make it an AP2 shot, ignores invulnerables. That's Murder Strike 5 up, sure. Keep it murder because then it'd be really powerful. But Murder Strike 5 up, AP2, ignore invuls, because that was the original,
like,
I think,
way
7th
back
edition.
In 5th edition. Even in 5th edition, I think it did that.
That's been the rule.
Yeah,
I remember it had like 3 shots. It had like a tank shot and something.
Yep.
But the point is, it ignored invuls.
Once per game, right? It's like you have 1 anti-tank shot per game, 1 anti-people shot per game, and 1 anti-unit shot per game.
Yeah,
something like that.
Well, currently in the game, is there anything that ignores invulnerable saves? That might be why they didn't do it. I can't think of anything. Maybe there is something. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, I can't think of it off my head.
I'm sure there's something.
If they didn't want to do that, if they didn't want to do a brand new rule, they could have just given it brutal. Give it brutal too.
Yeah.
Now I care about it more because if I don't get the Murderous Strike on your multi-wound model, say on average, say 2-wound model, because I'm shooting to something like that, then I'm doing nothing to you. I'm putting a wound on you.
It's only AP4.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I would give brutal 2 to the rifle, and I'd make the pistol AP3. Now at least you can kill some Marines.
And
it doesn't have to be AP2. That's fine. Huh?
I know. Make the sniper rifle AP2.
The sniper rifle is AP2.
The sniper is AP2.
It is.
Oh,
AP2.
I thought it was AP4. I'm sorry.
No, it's AP2
I was looking at it. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
It's AP2.
Look at me. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, no.
The damn stupid fucking pistol.
Yeah, it's the pistol that's worse. But no, 125 points in this game. Maybe 3K's the natural.
It's a tactical squad.
You're losing a tactical squad.
Is gonna put
I think I'd probably still potentially rather the tactical squad.
And not eat up one of your HQ slots, which I find I always wish I had more of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, if you want him, because especially if you did Warhammer Plus the other year, you got a cool Vindicare model. So if you want to use him, that's fine. Like, you'll have fun with this guy.
Listen, he's not a bad model. It's not harming your army.
No, but you're gonna most often, I think, feel like you're not getting your points worth.
Exactly.
Which
it doesn't really do what it says on the can. That's the problem.
No, it says he'll go in there and kill it.
Unreliable.
Yeah, he should be killing models. He's not going to be killing models. All right. So that was the assassin guy. Let's go on to the Culexus.
Yes.
So the Culexus is essentially the anti-psyker, because to be part of this, you have to have the pariah gene. So you are a null in the warp. So 125 points, the same as all the others will be. For the assassin, move 7. Weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength, and toughness. All of that is 4 with 2 wounds. I think that's the other problem with the other guy as well as this one. 2 wounds. 2 wounds is tough. Yeah, I know you get your really cool reaction, but if I can still see you, or I can shoot you with 2 different units, there's a very good chance I'm taking you out.
It depends on the table. Like if you're playing on Planet Burning
I'm okay with that though. Like, okay, So isn't there a rule for one of the units that says, one of the Alpha Legion units that says you can't be attacked until you attack?
Yes.
We'll get to
I
him.
feel
That's
like
fine.
if they gave that...
No, there's other units with that rule, Dan.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
In Alpha Legion?
There's one of the units we talked about it. We've
Yeah,
never done assassins before.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, that's right.
Yes.
I feel like if that was a blanket rule for assassins, it'd be okay with having only 2 wounds. Because I don't think they're durable enough to justify having a 3rd wound. But I don't think they're going to last long enough to make use of their thing with only 2.
No, agreed. Because the problem is, say this one, okay, your 2 wounds. Yeah, you can move far, but you can move far once. And if you're going to shoot me, if you have a weapon, I'm going to fire back, you're probably dead. I would like to see a little bit more for them. But as we said, 2 wounds. Sorry, that little diatribe there in the middle. Initiative 5, 3 attacks. Leadership 10, the 4-up save, but it has the panoply, so 4-up, 4-up. It, of course, is character. It's an assassin light, but this one has the anathema. We talked about that when we did the sisters. Anathema means you can in no way target, direct, or anything like that a psychic power at this model. If some psychic power were to get to them, it essentially gets canceled off of them. The power could still hit others, like if it's a template, but it won't actually hit them. But you're not allowed to start with the target on them. Also, they lower leadership of essentially enemies and things like that, or units around them, because they're just so off-putting. So for war gear, has an Animus Speculum, an Ethereum, Psych Out Grenades, which we previously talked about what they do. It is Perils of the Warp on a Psyker, yes?
And also any unit that contains a Psyker can't react to their charge.
Got it, and they cannot react. Thank you. And then they have their special clothes. For special rules, Infiltrate, Scout, Fear 2, which is big because Anathema...
That stacks.
Yep. It specifically says that it does stack, and that causes a lowering of leadership. This is another bigger lowering of leadership. So this model's really going to lower the leadership, especially early turns. And remember...
It's actually really cool.
Yeah, you can scout and infiltrate. So you can be within your fear bubble. You might be outside of the anathema bubble, but you could get into it easily enough. And if it's first turn and say night fighting, you could hit them for a -4. They're going to fail no matter what.
I thought that's -5. I thought it was... Is it 2 for an anathema or just...
No, -1. It's -1.
It's -1.
It is 1. Okay, so then it's a 4 total. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the extra minus if it's a demon unit.
No, it's an extra minus if it's a demon unit, corrupted unit, or if you're actually like joined up with the unit. So like if Sister of Silence joins a Custodes unit, they're -2.
Got it.
That's what I was thinking of the -2. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So for that also has Life Drain, which we'll go through. It's a support squad, as they're all going to be, and it's a loyalist. Also has Adamantian Will 3-up.
Which is useless, isn't it?
Mostly because you can't even use a force weapon against them.
No, it turns off psychic. I have no idea why.
And you can't join a psyker with them and use it to eat the perils because you can't independent character in. Weird. I mean, it's a great thematic addition. It does nothing, but it's thematic.
Well, because originally when I saw that, I was thinking like, oh man, that's bad. Because if that's all they get, a 3-up, hey, you're a psychic blank. I didn't notice the anathema when I looked through them before in the beginning. I was like, oh, that's kind of terrible. Oh, okay. They have this. They can every target. There's got to be some sort of weird, I guess, fringe case. I get maybe they're just future proofing, but pulling up the anathema now to see if there's any way around it. You cannot be directly targeted by psychic power. Whose effects would other apply to a unit that include at least one model due to area effect scattering, have no effect, but are not canceled and may continue to affect other units. Yeah, because it talks about if it was scattered onto them. The first line to me reads, if it's even scattered onto you, it just doesn't happen to you. So yeah. And the second one's about, well, that's fine. You have it. Maybe there's something that could occur. For the theorem, any shooting attacks that target a unit composed entirely of models with this special rule are made as snapshots. So you have to shooting at this unit. Any weapons that cannot fire snapshots cannot be used to make attacks targeting this model.
Don't go in front of a flamer unit.
That's what I'm going to say.
Flamers
It's
get
great
so
unless they got
much
flamers.
better. Salamanders say, please, try me.
The Animus Speculum, it is their weapon. It's a template. It is strength 4, AP 4. It's assault 1, rending 6 up, force. So you could actually. Does Adamantian Will help against perils?
That is a
I think it
good question.
does.
Could someone who has their rulebook, who isn't me, who's reading right
I was
now,
going
look that up?
Wait.
Try to find my
Psy
and
shock
Psyshock
causes perils, doesn't it?
Yeah, but this
Yes.
has
Oh, no, it's
force,
force,
so
sorry,
it
because
takes
it's
a
force, yeah.
force. Yeah.
Ooh.
So you could get up to strength 8. The AP 4 is not great, but strength 8 is good. I like that. And life drain. This is their special rule it has. So this is range dash, so strength user, AP 2. This is the melee weapon. It's a fleshbane with reaping blow 1. So the strength user is just because you're not doubling people out at strength 4, but it is fleshbane and reaping blow 1. So you're naturally 3 attacks, 4 on the charge. If
32 mil base, so it's
to
pretty
answer
easy.
your question,
yes,
Adamantium Will does work against.
So that's why it has it.
Perils.
Because it does have a weapon that is force, so it could take a perils theirself.
Okay,
so
that makes sense.
That's the reason for Adamantian Will then. Yeah, and so like I said, 4 attacks plus 1, you can get to 5 attacks. 5 attacks at Fleshbane AP2 is good. You're not gonna. This model is not gonna carve through everything, but if they have a psyker, hey, good. If they don't, this could be a little bullet that you send against their lower or mid-range squads because you're forcing them to snap shoot is the big thing. So this model, I don't care about charging as much because I'm more likely to survive based off of that.
Hell, I even like this guy as like a backline harasser.
Yeah. You get up there, get close, and just start, getting into people.
Yeah.
Like I said, taking out troops' choices, I think is a nice thing for this because they can fish out their reaction with other models, or get your other units that you care about, and this one goes in later. The only thing I hate is the model.
I think they
You don't like the big
redo it?
banana head with the bionics on the side?
No, I like the fact that it almost looks like a xenomorph on top if you move all the other crap away from the side. But besides that, I hate it.
Updated. I have the updated one. I like the updated one over the old one.
It's
the old one
angry
reminds
YouTube
me
comments
of?
now.
The old one reminds you of the Necron Deceiver model.
Yes, that's why I don't like it. I like the new one though. I have 3 of them.
No, it's bad.
I don't like the spandex.
I mean that's how
they
you get
all
a 4
have
up save.
spandex.
Yeah,
I know.
Spandex is 4 up saves.
It's so much worse for the Culexus model for whatever reason. I just don't like it. I think it's because the mass distribution is just so wrong on the thing.
It is.
That's probably
so. When you take a look at the upper torso, there's some unnatural shaping to it because its chest is rather large. That's fine. It goes in very quickly to its 4-pack of abs, but it also has big shoulders. Like it's weirdly proportioned. Like this is a model that kind of skips leg day, and it does crunches, but it doesn't really do anything else for the abs because it's kind of very, very top heavy, not counting its giant, enormous head. I'm not sure which one is which on that, but I hate all of it.
Fun fact, the Animus Speculum is the helmet, if I'm not mistaken.
That's not a fun fact. Yeah. That's a terrible fact.
I hate it. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Overall, though, I like this one a lot better than the Vindicare. Yeah. I can see this model potentially living.
I can see this on a table. Even if it doesn't bring psychers, it adds a lot.
And I will say, the snap firing is really stupid levels nice.
Yes.
This is a good... I like this one. It's got a little backline harasser, even if there's no psychic powers on the board.
Even the other part of you have fear and anathema. Even if you just want to park this somewhat close and fire at a unit with someone else and just potentially scare units away. Even if this isn't shooting.
This
to me,
with
that's
shell
nice.
Shock too, right? This stacks with shell shock too, right?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it would.
So with rotor cannons, that's a -5, -6.
Well, I was thinking because I play Mechanicum, take the stupid
Maxima Bolters.
Take the stupid fucking pinion
Maxima
tank.
Bolter. Yeah.
No.
The
the one that's Shell Shock 3. Yeah, the Shell Shock 3.
War Crime Tank. Yeah.
War Crime Tank. Take Shell Shock 3. So
or
leadership
take a real army.
-7. You know? Go nuts.
Yeah. Remember, you're allowed to look at Space Marine stuff because that's what most people have.
Me.
But yes, you can do that as well. All right. That was a very good model. Now Dan's going to talk about the Callidus and apparently is going to break it for us. But
break it.
Start with just the model in general.
Yes, of course. So, movement 7, weapon skill 5. Oh, wait, weapon skill 5. Is that new?
That's better than the others, yes.
Yeah. All right. So, movement 7, weapon
this
skill
is
5.
This one's designed for getting up close and assassinating people next to them. Yeah, it wants to be better weapon skill.
Let me see here. Ballistic skill, strength, toughness, all 4, 2 wounds, initiative 6. So it's very fast. 4 attacks, leadership 10, and of course the 4 up. It's got polymorphine, which we'll go into. Neural Shredder, we'll go into. Phase Sword, we'll get into. And Panoply Assassin, we already talked about. It has Infiltrate, Scout, Reign of Confusion. We will talk about that. Support Squad, Loyalist. So it's pretty much all special rules from here on out.
Yes.
So, polymorphine. A unit composed entirely of models with polymorphine may not be targeted for a shooting attack, charge, or reaction of any kind by an enemy unit as long as the unit with polymorphine has not made a shooting attack at any point in the battle. Once a unit or model with polymorphine has made a shooting attack, including during the reaction, then polymorphine has no further effect. So you cannot target it at all, ever, until it shoots you. I'll get to why this breaks the game in a second. I'm going to continue with its special rules.
Because it doesn't say anything about attacking in close combat.
No, not that. Well, no. I didn't even get the. No, that's not even this. So that I will fight someone over and flip a table. That's been another argument. I'll get to that.
Okay.
So when rolling to seize the initiative against a force that includes a model with a special rule, a successful result must be re-rolled. So if someone seizes the initiative on you, they have to re-roll that success. So 1 in 36 chance, which is nice. The Neural Shredder is the shooting attack it has. It's a template weapon at strength 1 AP dash. It is pistol 1, rending 5 up, and synaptic destructor, which basically means on a wound roll of 6, the target automatically suffers a wound with no armor save, invulnerable save, or damage mitigation allowed. So it's a rending 5 up flamer that if you wound on a 6, you get no save whatsoever.
Yep. You do have to have a toughness characteristic for this to count.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think strength 1 can hurt any vehicle. Oh, I got to do math here. If it rends on a 6, that's strength 7. And then you only get a D3
you could get to a 10.
10?
You could get to 10.
What vehicle is, I guess, the rear of a rhino?
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. And then Phase Sword. Phase Sword is strength 3, AP 1, melee, rending 5 up, and phase shift. And it has phase shift is the exact same thing as a disruptor, which is on a roll of wound to 6. You get no armor saves, rollable saves, damage mitigation saves. All right. So I have to pull up the fact because what Dave said I think got fact. But
okay, that would be good. I want that to be fact because those rules.
But it might not be. It might just be panoptica that I'm thinking of. But before I even get to what Dave said, originally why this model is somewhat banned is because if you take it and you don't shoot the entire game, you can park yourself on an objective and deny it for the enemy the entire game. It's like Dave had this word for it, and I can't remember what you used.
Negative play experience.
Thank you. Negative play. It's a negative play experience. You take them, park it on an objective,
you never get invited to game day again.
Yeah, ever again. And it's like, for example, I take it with my Custodes army. I have just removed. It is, by the way, fact. I'll read it to you in a second. You just remove an objective. So if it's a 5 objective game, congratulations. Now I'm focusing on 4. Screw you. You know, it's a negative play experience in my opinion. And basically what it should have added to this at the end was fluffy. It cannot contest.
But it's fluffy because it causes disarray.
Now, real quick, Dave, change the first sentence to a unit composed entirely of models with polymorphine may not be targeted for shooting, attack, charge, or reaction of any kind by an enemy unit as long as this unit with polymorphine has not made an attack of any kind during the battle. So it does count for close combat. Okay,
yeah.
I remember that was the original.
Once and I remember you're in combat, you could swing and nothing prohibited you from swinging in melee. You just couldn't put yourself there.
No, but here was the other thing. In the original wording, I rush into combat, I fight, I win, I'm still alive at the end.
I'm still alive at the end.
You're another. Once I kill your unit, you weren't allowed to shoot me then, because it never went away because I still haven't shot. So they basically made it until it attacks, it's fine, but if it ever attacks in any way, clear as day.
Yes. That's what I was going to say. And I think the reason I disregarded that in my mind was because I remember they fact it immediately.
Yeah. No, that's good.
It's still stupid.
But it's still, so it's been banned. I think that was the original reason why it banned, to be quite honest. But the taking away an objective is kind of, which, I mean, for 125 points seems like a lot, but it's still really good, you know? So I think that's why.
You surround the assassin with Mechanicum robots, and you hope they die and explode. And when they explode, they'll do strength 8 hits. You have a 50% chance to completely kill the assassin.
It's a shooting attack.
They're going to fail to save.
It's a shooting.
It's an explosion.
Explosions are resolved as shooting attacks.
But it's not a target.
Yeah. It's not targeted.
Reactor blast. Boom.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So bring some auto-exploding somethings, I guess. I don't know.
It's not also, if they happen, I mean, not that they would, but if they put one of their other units nearby with templates, you could throw it out because you're not targeting that model, you're targeting the other unit.
Also true.
It's just denying an objective me was kind of grimy. That's why I was like, you just toss it in the middle like a dead no man's land objective and just focus on the entire other half of the board. But it's still a good. I'll put it this way: even if they don't contest objectives, let's say they get rid of that ability, I still like it. For 125 points, the ability to get really up close with a nice little flamer that rends on a 5-up, and then on a 6-up you just say no. That's pretty funny. I like that a lot. Yeah. Like what fire drakes with their 3-up invulnerable, right? You toss that, you get like 10 models, you're gonna kill one with the shot on average.
So you're getting what, 6 attacks on the charge? Is that right?
Well, I was just talking about the shooting.
4 pistol charging.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, weapon skill 5, which is good too.
I mean, it's not that good, but it's decent.
It's decent. For 125
I would
points,
honestly expect weapon skill 6 on a melee-oriented assassin, but I guess it's not melee-oriented, so it's just surprise, I'm here.
Yeah, so it's more of,
And fun fact, I did a quick browse through all the fluff blurbs. This assassin is noted as it, while all the others are them, they.
No.
Yes. So this one's not even considered human.
Oh, that's
I guess
so
because
cool.
shapeshifts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, GW.
So it's like, Vindicares, all of their kind do this, all of their kind do that. Here's its target, its ways.
Well, it makes sense. It literally makes itself to look like what it wants, what is useful
I thought
in
that was
the
a
moment.
neat little touch.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. You know what? I will give props where props are due. That's a neat little fluff addition. I will 1,000% give credit where credit is due. That's pretty freaking cool.
So, did it polymorph the hair that the model has?
The hair that it stands on?
Yeah, like the 4 feet of hair, I would guess.
Yes, I guess it's like jumping down.
Now, look at the length of that hair. The length of that hair is its full torso down to like probably its knees.
That's so like 5 or 6 feet of hair.
Yeah. The only story I remember.
So unbraided, it's got to be like 10 feet of hair.
Almost definitely.
The only story I remember of this assassin this is an old book, by the way. This is back when I was a wee young lad. Is Draco, which I don't think is used anymore as like proper fluff. But that was, I think the assassin was Melindy, and her polymorphing was polymorphing to an actual gene stealer.
Yeah, that's probably why they say it's, because you don't even have to be a human.
Yeah. She did Eldar. She could do Eldar, and she could do Gene Stealer, which was nuts.
I think the most recent depiction of one of these assassins is probably the Weimar Plus. What's it called? From Hammer and Bolter, right? With the Inquisitor that's kind of going a little nutty in the head.
Oh, I do remember that. Yes. I completely forgot about that one. You are correct.
All right. Standing on objectives, denial, shenanigans aside, I think it is good. I do think, much like the Culexus, this is one that you would see, or you could see.
You know why, right? Because it has evasive technology. That's why.
Yeah. It's the John Cena of 40K.
Yeah. I've taken this one. This one I actually have experience with. This one and the last one I have experience with, and I've used them both to good effect. To be quite honest.
Yeah. Overall, I like them. I these ones I like. I don't like the Vindicare. We'll see about some of the other ones I'm still mad about, but that just might be me. All right. So we have 4 left. We know Dan wants to take the last one. Does anyone in particular want to take the Eversor?
I mean, I can.
Okay.
He's fun, Steve. You'll like him.
Yeah.
You'll
like volunteer
him,
as tribute.
It's another one of the classic assassins. It's actually the last of the classic assassins, if I remember correctly. All right, so the Eversor assassin. Yes, I remember this one. This is the Roid Rage monster.
Yes.
Yep.
So we
That's
got
why I said you
like
him.
Yeah. Movement 7, weapon skill 5. And then we got 4, 3 wounds on this one because so much adrenaline pumped through your system. Even if you're dead, you don't know it yet. Initiative 6, attacks 3, leadership 10, save 4. Only 3 attacks. I'm sure they have a special rule to fix that little shortcoming. We got a Neuro Gauntlet and a Power Sword and Executioner Pistol. Got Melted Bombs, hell yeah. And Panoply of the Assassin for that 4-up. It's Character Assassin Light. We have Counterattack 1. Friends on Rage 3. That's a cool new rule. Biological Overload. And then we have the standard Infiltrate, Scout, Support Squad, and Loyalist. So for Biological Overload, whenever an Eversor assassin is reduced to 0 wounds, but immediately before removing the all from the battlefield, every model, both friendly and enemy, within D6 inches, suffers a Strength 4 AP3 hit with the Fleshbane special rule. They count as a shooting attack originating from a weapon with the Flame type.
Boom.
Yeah, they literally explode.
Yeah.
A little poof.
Yeah, if it knows they're going to die, they flood their system with drugs to make them explode.
Amazing.
That is great.
If that's not grim, if that's not like Imperium darkness, I don't know what is.
It has been forever since I've read Nemesis. I know there's an Eversor in that one. I don't remember what happens to him. I don't remember if he explodes. I hope he did.
I think he's actually like kept away from everyone else because he's just absolutely insane.
No. Later on, I know he's in there fighting people. I just don't remember. I don't remember.
No, I meant he's kept away from the rest of the assassins. Like the rest of them don't talk to him at all.
Yeah. Oh, that part, yes. All right. Want some more rules here, Steve?
Yes. Friends on Rage. Rage. At the start of the assault phase, a model with a special rule may choose to temporarily increase its attacks characteristic by the amount listed in brackets, in this case 3, until the end of the turn. Rolling to hit that has had its characteristics increased in this manner. For each unmodified result of 1, the attacking model immediately suffers a wound unless it makes an armor save. They do not count towards combat resolution. So you can go up to 6 attacks, 7 for charging, 8 for having pistol combat weapon. Yes, 8 for having pistol combat weapon. Very nice.
And if you get charged, you'll have the same because you have counterattack.
Yup. Very nice. Let's see. Then you have the Neuro Gauntlet. It's Strength User, AP3, Melee, Fleshbane, Shred, and Rending 6 up. That's good for killing the basic guys of the squad. Maybe not character hunting, but it'll definitely chew through the bulk of a unit with a 2-up rerollable to wound. Not bad. Then we got the Executioner Pistol rounding this thing out. You have 2 options. You could fire it as a bolt pistol, you could fire it as a needle pistol, or you could fire both. Why not both? Strength 4, AP 5, Pistol 1, bolt pistols, we all know them. And then we have the Needle Pistol, range 12, Strength 2, no AP, but it's Pistol 2, Poisoned 3 up, and Pinning.
I mean, needle pistols
I love these
are
guys.
great if it works.
They're insane, but I don't think it would actually ever make it across the table.
No. That's the biggest problem. Like the needle pistol, if you can get it to work, that's great. Because then they won't be able to, reaction in the assault phase. But the problem is they could reaction and shoot you. Like you'd have to fish out reactions.
They could return fire and just knock you out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like unless, if you can either fish them out or something else, like if you can stop them from having it. but that's, there's a lot to be said of stopping them from having it.
I mean, counterpoint, the advanced reaction really helps this guy out because it doesn't say you have to push backwards. You can actually push forward with him.
The problem, though, is when you try to get in. You're
Yeah.
not worried about people getting into you. I'd love to be charged by a unit with this dude.
Oh, please.
I'm fine with that. But you have to get in, and you have to make sure they don't have reaction to shoot you back. Because, yeah, this guy's got an extra wound, but he's still only 3 wounds. And really, to get his points out, he wants to use his rage, which means the ones could give him wounds. So if I take a wound or 2 off this guy, off of, say, the reaction, he can't use his extra attacks, or he'll use them and probably die.
I feel like he needs to feel no pain.
Yeah, I'm surprised he doesn't have it.
I think he actually used to.
At one point, yeah. I think 40k wise, I think at one point he did. He really should. If he had a feel no pain,
a decent one, like a 4-up or maybe a 5-up.
I would be fine even with him having a 4-up. I'm fine with a feel no pain 4-up on this guy.
It makes sense. Fits the fluff. Fits the role. He's kind of running forwards.
Yeah. And he still
either makes it or breaks it.
Yeah. Even with that, though, he would still be very killable, which, I understand that since they can be thrown anywhere, they don't want to make it where, I brought this model, your day's ruined. But I could still kill him, but he'll make it somewhere. He'll get to do something cool before he dies. Because right now, he's probably not. And it's a shame because he's honestly really awesome. He even has melta-bombs. So he can even go, you got a vehicle. I can deal with that. I want to get to the less crunchy bits inside. But no, it's kind of a shame because like you look at all that, it sounds really cool, seems really nice, but there's a big glaring problem to make you want to have it, and to me that is a big issue. All right. So from unadulterated rage, I just gotta take the time stamp here. So there we go. From adulterated rage, and then of course when I hit it goes to 53. Go ahead.
Should Dan take this next one?
Ooh, very good point. I'm still going to say the part I was going to because I want to.
Circle around? Or
yes.
No? Okay.
No, yeah, that's fine. Dan can take this, then I'll take the other one.
The assassin, yeah, exactly.
So from sort of brutal rage, now we go to the much more focused with the Adamus. Probably Adamus.
Wait, it's
probably Adamus.
Adamus,
it's like Adamus.
San Diegans. Go ahead.
All right, so the Clade Adamus Assassin. So movement 7, weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 4, strength 4. 3 wounds though, so he's a little chunkier. Initiative 5, attacks 4, leadership 10, 4-up save. If he's reminding you a lot of the Callidus, then that's why. He's 1 more wound, but 1 less initiative essentially. He's got a Nemesis Blade, that's special. Needle Spine Blaster, that's special. Death Artisan, that's special. We'll get to that. Decapitation Strike, guess what? That's special. Fleet 2. So he's got Fleet 2. So he actually runs, 14 inches a turn? That's not bad.
Yes. He goes 14 inches a turn.
Does that add to charges?
No, 15. 15 because he's light.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, 15. Does that add to charges as well?
Fleet, yes.
Yeah, so it's plus 3 to charge. That's not bad. That's good.
And why plus 3 to charge?
Well, why plus 3?
Because he's moving. He's moving 7, not moving 8.
7.
Yep.
Oh, what a shame.
So close.
Shame. So close. Still plus 2. So Nemesis Blade. Nemesis Blade is plus 1 strength, AP 3, melee, rending 5-up.
So does it bother anyone else before you go further? Does it bother anyone else? I feel like that should be the plural. No, I guess not. That's actually the singular.
Yeah, does he have 1 or 2? I only see the 1.
He has 1. No, Nemesis would be the singular. Nemesis or some of that could be the plural. I was just looking. I thought that's the wording. The word felt plural, but actually thinking about it, no, that would be a singular form. Okay,
all right, so he's got a strength 5, AP 3, rending 5-up blade. Okay, neat. I still like the Callidus a little bit more on that one. The weapon is a combi weapon. He could do primary and secondary attacks with this without needing fire protocols X, which is nice. They're both 12 inches. The primary shot is strength 2, poison 2, pinning. Okay, 1 shot. And the secondary shot is a bolt pistol with 3 shots, I think.
Nope.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's just a bolt pistol.
It's
It's 3 bolt pistols in a
Just
trench coat.
keep going.
Actually,
yeah. Decapitation strike.
There you go.
During any fight subphase, the controlling player of the model with the special rule may have this model with the special rule make a single attack. With the with the profile below, instead of attacking normally while using this option, you can activate bonus for charging, additional weapons, where the special rules are. So it's strength 2, Strength 2,
Just
AP
read.
1.
Yep.
Melee, unwieldy, fleshbane, murderous strike 2 up.
So if you wound, it's murderous strike.
But it's unwieldy.
On a 2
you go
up,
last.
it's instant death.
Yeah. This
When
guy's
engaged-
essentially, he's a samurai.
Yeah.
That's sort of the thing.
When engaged in a challenge, a model with the special rule may choose to increase their weapon skill and initiative characteristic to match that of their opponent for the duration of the challenge. Additionally, a model with a special rule may always issue a challenge when engaged in combat with a unit that contains a model with a character unit subtype.
Yeah.
All right.
He has mastered the art of the blade. He has studied it his entire life.
Yeah, he studied the art of the blade. Okay, I'm going to be honest. Right?
I
Am
like
I
him.
mad on him?
It's cool.
Yes.
It's
I don't
cool,
know
but,
if I
like,
would run him. But he's
I
cool.
would rather run the Callidus, which sure doesn't get decapitation
But
strike.
Dan, he has a katana.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
He hails
Maybe
from the
maybe I'm
Pan-Pacific
crazy
region.
because I don't play legions.
Mhm.
But how
Yep.
many times is your Praetor not going to be in a unit that doesn't have chosen warriors in it, or characters, or some ability to protect the Praetor in challenges?
It's okay. He'll just cut them down one at a time. No, that's not going to actually work though, because the entire rest of the squad will just mob up on him.
Yeah, his mom going to kill him.
Yes.
That's why I'm like, eh.
He has
No.
to hit at the same time as something else,
Yeah.
or hit something
Overall,
that has no chosen warriors in it.
no, overall, he's not amazing. I do think he's
cool.
fun. He fits his fluff very well.
Yes.
Overall, I like the model more than some of the other ones. Some of the classics, I just think they're a little too over the top. This guy I do like. The decapitation strike is nice. The problem is murder strike is great, but the thing you're probably attacking that you really want to murder strike, that you're sacrificing all your attacks for, is going to have an invul save.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm probably, and it's not even a guarantee that it works, because I could roll a 1 on the 2 wound. Or you could kill me first because I'm unwieldy, or I could miss. I could make my weapon skill the same as yours if you're better than me, which puts you to a 4. Which means it's not really likely that I'm going to kill your model. You know, if it's a cataphractii terminator, half the time I'm going to miss. Then 1 in 6 I won't get through, and then if I do, half that time you'll save it. That's not good odds. That's really bad odds.
There's just something. Okay, so maybe there's just something missing with him, in my opinion. There's just something like.
I would have loved to see him have a similar. Yeah. Putting brutal on that weapon I think would be great.
Brutal fixes so many of the assassin
Brutal
problems.
fixes everything.
No. Or maybe all the assassins need this, but I could see having given this guy the same exact rule that the Callidus had, where you can't target me if I haven't done anything yet, because this guy is sneaking around.
He's a ninja.
Or you could say that while locked in a challenge, this model cannot be targeted by other models' attacks.
I would be happy with that as well. The other models aren't allowed to fight because
he's too busy like circling around in a
Or counterpoint, give him precision strikes 2 up, so he just targets whoever the hell he wants.
That's still contentious, though.
Yeah, I don't like that, because then they're causing potential issues with rules that they may do something with later, because he's in a challenge. What happens if they say, "Hey,
I
the challenge
still
just
don't agree."
Okay, how about he gets the Primarch rule? I was at the Primarch rule of, like, he gets to choose who he swings at.
That's no different. That's no different. That's the same idea, though.
Or have this a rule where he picks who he fights in a challenge.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
That way, he's guaranteed to hit who he wants to hit. Like, you're not hiding your Praetor. He's having that fight.
He's coming to you.
I for that point, that or no one else gets to hit in, something like that.
Yeah, what are those two?
Make it good.
I would not do both. Both
no.
I think would be too much. Both is too much.
That's why I said counterpoint.
But either outside fighters can't hit him, or he picks who he's in a challenge with.
Yeah, either one I'd be happy with. Otherwise, he'd have to go up in points. Because again, it's a thing of your unwieldy. Maybe what you want to fight is probably going to have a decent weapon, and you're only 3 wounds with a 4 pinful. It might just kill you out ahead of time. And if you go for the decapitating strike, like I said, it's not actually great odds that it works. It's really not. Against something you actually want to kill, it's not great odds. So it's a shame because he's released on Forge World. He looks cool. He looks like a ninja with a cool double gun.
I mean, he literally is a ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's...
Yeah, I like this guy. I said some of the newer ones I'm just not as much of a fan of, but this guy I like the way they put him together. If he was a little bit better, where I felt I don't care if a model doesn't always get its points back. I don't care if a model feels like a perfect choice all the time, but I want to feel like I'm going to use it and I'm going to get to hopefully do their cool thing.
I'll put it this way:
I think
you want your opponent to be afraid of the assassin.
Yes.
And right now, they won't be.
No.
Not if they read the rules.
Yeah. If I don't have an unwieldy weapon, I'm fine going in combat with you because I'll probably take you out. And if not, if I got a good invul save, I'm probably not dying anyway. You know, it's a little bit of a chance, and you'll remember the game where it does work. But again, you're going to have 7 games. It's going to work once or twice. I want more than that. My cool models, I want to feel that they do something cool. Even if it doesn't work, even if it doesn't always work, I want to feel like they'll have that cool chance. All right. I'm going to talk about
the Venenum.
Venenum. I'm going to go Venenum. I think this was one of I read through them, but I didn't know if I read through all their sort of special. Oh yeah, this is the Poisoner. Okay. I had to read his thing a little fast. All right, he's 125 points, of course. He is move 7, weapon skill 5. He's bliss skill, strength, toughness, all 4s. He's got 3 wounds, so he's another one of the thicker guys. Initiative 6, so he's very fast. 4 attacks, 10 leadership, the 4-up, and 4-up invul, same as normal. He has a hook fang, toxin injector. He has poison globes and his special armor. He has Infiltrate Scout. He's a support squad, a loyalist, of course. And then his other special rule that we'll have to read in a moment is his unnatural conditioning. So, first thing is his unnatural conditioning. Models with this special rule are immune to the effects of Rad Phase special rule and any other rules that negatively impact their toughness characteristic. So you can charge something with Rad Grenades, doesn't matter. Additionally, weapons that have the Poison X special rule or Fleshbane may never wound a model with this roll on a roll of better than a 5-up. So, your toughness can't be reduced, and things that wound exceedingly easy, poison and Fleshbane, only get you on a 5-up. For his poison globes, any unit attempting to make a charge against a unit with one or more models that has this rule has to re-roll the first successful roll when determining charge distance. That's amazing. If you can keep them at a good distance from you, then they're not going to make it in because they have to re-roll. If they had to make a really good roll, there's a very good chance they're not going to do it twice. Toxin injector. So this is his shooting weapon. It's a template, strength 5, AP 4. It's assault 1, poison 3-up, and a rending on a 6. So I'm not thrilled with a lot of their ranged weapons because you could get shot down by using it, but at least this one has a good strength, poison 3-up, rending 6, so it's nice overall. And his close combat weapon is Hook Fang. It's his strength, so strength 4, AP 3. It's melee, poison 3-up, and it has the rule the Venom, or the Venom, but not Venom with an O, Venom with an E. I don't like how they spelled that. It bothers me because it's like Venom, but not Venom. So Venom. If a model suffers 1 or more unsaved wounds from this weapon, the controlling player must roll a d6 at the beginning of every battle turn for the remainder of the battle. On a 5-up, the model suffers a wound against which no saves of any kind may be taken. Remember, you can take a Feel No Pain because that's not a save. Furthermore, any model which suffers 1 or more unsaved wounds from a weapon with the Venom special rule is considered to be destroyed for the purposes of missions, which award victory points for killing models, regardless of whether or not they're removed as a casualty, unless they possess the Eternal Warrior special rule. So it's not going to work on Primarchs, but against your Warlord, if it's just a normal Praetor, if I hit him with this and he dies later, it still counts.
Even if he doesn't die.
Even if he doesn't die.
Oh, it says
He's considered destroyed.
Oh, got it. That makes
Regardless.
sense. Yes, whether or not the memory is a casual map pause. Yeah. So as soon if I tag you,
Ooh,
you just give out the points because you're going to count as because you're going to die sooner or later because I got you with the Venenum.
cool. That's cool.
So, really quick side note: I hate the fact that this doesn't work on Primarchs with an Undying Passion.
Well, it can't. Well, every game has if I kill your Primarch, I get points. So I would just rush this guy, hit a Primarch, and I'm good.
Is it an assassin that poisoned Guilliman, or was that a Dark Eldar that poisoned Guilliman?
Why don't you try a Primarch?
Yeah.
No, because
it was Fulgrim.
No,
it was Fulgrim.
Oh, it was Fulgrim?
Yes.
Wasn't there an assassin that poisoned some dude?
That's what they do. I'm sure they were, but no, it was Fulgrim that poisoned Guilliman.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Continue. I've lost all interest.
So
anyway, I think that's really cool.
It's a really cool rule. The poison globes is fun. His stuff is fun. His natural conditioning is fun, and I feel he might be worth it. Other than I do think he's also cool looking. I do like this guy. He's got a weird, almost. I know it's his essentially breathing mask on, but it almost reminds me a little bit of almost like a little bit of a spider look, and he's covered in various containers for all of his poisons. I think that's cool. I like painting, that sort of stuff. If he could affect any model, if they remove the Eternal Warrior thing, I feel like I could find a place for him.
If they removed Loyalist, I would absolutely find a place for him, specifically going after Dan's characters.
Their Eternal Warrior.
Steve,
their Eternal Warrior.
I don't like you.
Tribunes are Eternal Warrior. I'll stop you.
I don't like you.
I knew you were gonna. So under 2K, under 3K points, then yes, you kill Marcus Aurelius. But 9 times out of 10, Marcus Aurelius is Eternal Warrior, Steve. So sorry.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a shame. That's an
I was good. I knew you were gonna go there. I knew it, and I was literally oh, I should probably warn him before he says it. But you even do it.
Heartbroken.
It's like they're almost there on these models. But there's always something that when I look and I say, but here's a big issue. I can infiltrate. I can scout and get nice and close. You're not going to lower my toughness. Cool. It's going to be hard to charge me if you're far away, all of that. But if I shoot you, I'm probably going to die. Or maybe get down to like a wound. Oh, man, I can poison you for later. That's cool because I'm going to die. Like, you'll be poisoned. You'll die, but I'm dead too.
The assassin, I'm finding that the assassins are falling in 2 tiers. Or 3 tiers. Some that are actually you can take them and they would do benefits. Some that are fun, they might work, they might not work, and some that just please ignore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the worst thing is you can't even put them in a transport.
Yeah.
Like, if I could, hide this guy in a Land Raider to at least be a delivery system, that would help a lot.
Yes.
But no.
I agree.
Or because they have infiltrate, can't charge first turn. Even if you let a single model do that, some of them maybe it'd be fine. I don't know. He is really cool. Nice. I do think his model is neat. I like him overall. I really do.
He's a cool model. Yes, I agree with that. He is a cool model.
All right. Dan, why don't you take the last one?
Yes, sir. Oh, that's so weird. I always thought there was one more after him.
No.
One more between him, I should say.
No.
I didn't realize it was a...
They're almost 7. Alphabetical.
Yes, 7, right? Yeah.
Here.
That's so weird.
7.
Yeah, okay. The Vanus Infocyte Assassin. And in my opinion, the coolest of the Forge World Assassins. In my opinion.
Because it looks Mechanicum-ish.
No, but ignore the Mechanicum-ish. This thing looks creepy as hell. It's just straight creepy.
Take a look at this guy.
I wonder if it has a 360. If it has a 360 on Forge World, take a look at the 360.
It's because of its weird head thing. I think that's the creepy part of it.
Spinal cord and everything.
Does it? Spinal cord. Oh, like it's almost like a mechadendrite tail or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so movement 7, weapon skill, ballistic skill. Okay, so weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength, toughness 4, 3 wounds, so he's chunky. Are all the Forge World Assassins 3? They are. Okay.
Yeah, those
initiative
ones are.
5, 3 attacks, leadership 10, 4 up save. He's got an Auspector.
Auspector. Yep, Auspector.
Okay. Two las pistols, guys. Watch out.
Whoa.
Whoa. I don't know what to do here. 2 sympathetic data spikes, a Vox disruptor array.
Automatic.
Yeah. Automatic or autotomic?
I think it's autotomic. That's what I want to go with. Autotomic servo limbs. It's got a noose etheric interloper. And that's about its only special rules. All right, so infiltrate, scout, the normal stuff. All right, the Auspector. Oh, Jesus. So I
wanted this. You read it ahead of time. You knew what was happening.
Rule, and then I forgot how long this was. So
yeah.
Auspector. Enemy models cannot be deployed using the infiltrate special rule within 18 inches of a model with the Auspector. Yeah, that's pretty good so far. In addition, when an enemy unit is deployed to the battlefield from reserve, and a model with the Auspector may make an interceptor advance reaction with its 2 last pistols without expanding the point of the reactive player's allotment. This does not allow the unit to make more than 1 reaction per phase, but does allow the control player to exceed the normal 3 reactions per given phase. Instead of using the profile of the weapon the model with the Auspector may make a leadership test. If the leadership test is passed, the controlling player may make instead a shooting attack with any defensive weapons available to any models with a vehicle unit type within 12 inches. That's nice.
Yeah, that's what it does. It fires a vehicle's weapon, not its little ass pistols.
I know, but hold on. Defensive weapon. Well, we'll get to that
second. So, defensive weapons means strength 6 or less, or pintle mounted.
Okay, so Okay. That is in range and line of sight. Obviously, if the leadership test has failed, you may not make an interceptor advance reaction. Just real quick, I'm going to pause there. Are there any tanks that I can think of that are have amazing defensive weapons?
Anything with a pintle mounted multi-melta.
Yeah,
maybe like a Blood Angels. Do Blood Angels have that stupid assault cannon predator?
Yes, but you can only get 1 weapon though. Not all.
Okay.
You get 1.
Right?
Okay.
It's a better off-spec scanner.
Is it? Make a shooter. No, it says with any defensive weapon.
But I believe any means 1. Like you could pick any of them.
Yeah, you could pick 1. Otherwise, it would say with all its defensive weapons.
Got it. Okay. All right. Cool. A new spheric interloper. Instead of making a shooting attack, a model with a special rule may make a leadership test. If the test is passed, the control player may nominate a single enemy model with 12 inches that has the automata type. This model immediately suffers D3 wounds with no armor saves or damage mitigation rules are allowed. If this reduces the model to 0 wounds and it is removed as a casualty, the controlling player may nominate another model with the automata unit type within 18 inches of the model with a special rule. That model also suffers D3 wounds with no armor saves or damage mitigation rules allowed. Regardless of the result of this die roll, no further wounds may be allocated in this attack during the shooting phase. And if you fail it, you suffer a single wound with no armor save or damage mitigation effects, and nothing happens. That's pretty neat. If you're playing against
super unbelievably specialized.
Yes,
it is neat,
very
but it's
niche,
super specialized.
But
it will happen in 1% of your games.
No. But if you're playing, let's say your local player is 2 or 3 Mechanicum players, I am absolutely terrified of this because Castellaxes only have 4 wounds. So if you knock them down to 2 or 3 wounds, you can possibly do 2d3 just damage. It's scary to me, at least. Anyway, sympathetic data spikes. So their strength +2, so it becomes strength 6, AP 3, melee, rending 4 up. Oh, that's not bad. Haywire and specialist weapon. Okay. And then, this. This is the autotomic servo limbs. Basically, it detaches its freaking limbs because once per battle, if you have the servo limbs, you may basically grant yourself the hit and run special rule. You basically detach your limbs and flee, which is hilarious.
But you do have to do it at the start of any turn. And it happens until the start of your next turn.
Your next turn, yeah.
So if you can do it in an opponent's turn, but you have to do it at the start, so you have to know that they're trying to charge in on you.
Yeah.
Okay, Dan, take off your Mechanicum hat for a moment and tell me what you think. Because, it's good against Mechanicum. This is designed. We're talking about otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. So in any other normal condition, this is not a great assassin. So, what else is automata besides Mechanicum? You have the Domitar Ferrum. You got the Thousand Suns.
The Castellax Achaea.
Yeah. And people can take some of them by taking certain console choices.
No, but I'm saying just ignoring Mechanicum units, what are Legion stuffs?
That's it.
I think
that's about it. Maybe something in Legacies that we're forgetting, but...
Yeah, they're both Trader. Yeah. Okay, so listen, if your meta is full of Mechanicum players and Thousand Suns players and an Iron Warriors player that loves taking Loyalist I just said that to piss off Steve. Loyalist Iron Circle. Then yeah, this is a pretty good assassin, but like I don't know, 9 times out of 10, this is a very specialized assassin.
Yeah.
I just need to know, why is this one wounds 3?
Because it has limbs.
Like the other ones, I get it. Like this one's, used to it because it's all the poisons. This one's on roids. This one's just, I don't know, the art of the blade or whatever, right? But this one, why is this one wounds?
Because
3,
it has extra limbs.
While but the others are wounds too. Like why are 3 of the 4 classics only got 2 wounds and this one's got 3? There's no reason this one has 3.
Yeah, it is. So you can buy the new ones. I thought they didn't give them really good rules, so I don't know what. That kind of defeats my original thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think because it's part mechanical.
Spectre question.
Yes.
Can you always use a vehicle's weapon, or only in an interceptor? I'm still like reading it and trying to understand because there's a lot of text, and not a lot of breaks in the text.
It's the interceptor advanced reaction. Instead of using the profile of the weapon this model has.
And those are some beefy 2 las pistols.
See, there's a period, and I don't know if that period means that it's a separate rule that's part of that, or if it's still attached to the reaction.
To me, looking through it, I would say off of pure reading, it is separate but inclusive. So in other words, on that reaction, I may do it, but I'm not limited then, because it doesn't say, in addition, during the reaction, it said it's just instead of using that profile, you can do this.
But see, that it closes it by saying if you fail, then you cannot make an interceptor. So I guess it's only interceptor. Okay.
Yes. It's just not well phrased. But yes, it is only interceptor because the last
explain
line
to me
tells us
what in the hell you guys were talking about, because I don't know.
Okay. So for a second, I wasn't sure if Hacky Assassin could always hack a vehicle or only hack a vehicle during interceptor reactions. Because if you could always just take over a multi-melta, sure, I'll take an extra multi-melta shot every turn off a Rhino. Why not, right? But that's how it works. It's only during interceptor reactions.
Yeah. They made the line separate, which would make you think that it is a separate thought. But the last one closes out the bubble and pulls it back to be the same thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. If you got a bunch of Mechanicum, it makes sense. This is a decent option there. Yeah. If you don't have a bunch of Mechanicum, or like people constantly, coming in from Infiltrate or something like that, even then, Infiltrate,
it's not worth it. Okay. If you are in a place with, again, Thousand Suns players, Iron Warriors players, or people that just love taking the Forge Lord, no, that's not the guy. Who the hell's the
Praevian?
Is it Praevian? Or love taking a Praevian with some infiltrating Vorax or whatever the hell, right? Okay, sure. That's really annoying. Like, this is a great assassin, because you knock a wound off or 2 wounds off of Vorax and you just toss this dude at him, you're blowing up those Voraxes pretty easily. It's a very nice, easy thing to do. But in any other situation, he's useless. You know what I would have loved to see? And this would have been super fluffy. And this is how you make him worth 125 points, Dave.
It's also a Vox Disruptor, so that's nerfing Deep Strike.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I was just going to say, make it so that anyone within 12 inches can't use augury scanners and
Nuncio Vox.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because he said Voxcaster, now I couldn't think of it. Right? That's a cool thing. He's hacking literally people around
augury
him, right?
scanner, Nuncio Voxes, and Cognisignums.
There it is. Yeah. Thank you. That would be a reason to take him. Now, if I'm not playing a Mechanicum player, I still want to take this dude because, I can...
Because it enables other things to happen. Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I mean? He's hacking your Nuncio Vox. Maybe I take him with a drop pod army. He infiltrates, scouts up, runs up, right? And then all of a sudden my drop
You're facing away from the mic.
Oh.
There you go.
I think it's fluffy too, because based on this fluff blurb, it's like, this assassin doesn't take the kill. It just makes it so other people go for the kill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I would have loved to see. Him shooting down Voxes, or shooting down, him shutting off Voxes and stuff like that. Squad buff abilities. that would be fluffy. That would be cool. I would take him.
Yeah.
But as he
That'd
is
be
right
unique.
now, it's
Yeah.
who
It's
cares?
I get a free interceptor on a tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this model does.
The big thing, say, with this guy, and it's sort of the problem we see with all of them, 125 points isn't a lot, but it's enough that if the model won't do anything, then I'm playing down points. If he disrupted the things that we said, hey, that would be great. That would do a lot. If 30K had like a sideboard where like, oh, this guy's chilling in case I face a Mechanicum, yeah, I'd have him in a sideboard, but I wouldn't put him in my army otherwise.
Or like do the 40K thing where you just take an assassin and then at the game you pick which one it is.
Yeah.
That
was the thing, that would be great.
Yes. That was another thing I wanted to mention. And it's funny because I completely forgot it at the beginning of this video, but I'll mention it now. Yes. I kind of wish they had that stupid rule. I really do.
All right, so we're going to call this closing thoughts. So, okay.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
We're moving.
It basically is our closing thoughts.
Yeah. I really wish they had that rule because that, to me, would be something really freaking cool. You spend 125 points, right? And now, let's say you're playing a Mechanica player, he's in your table. You know, you got that guy. Let's say you're playing, I don't know, fucking Thousand Suns. Now you have a Culexus. You know, now this is starting to make sense. Now this is starting to be cool. You know what I mean? But, and I don't think that would be broken. Like, people think, oh, but that might break the game. I don't think that would be broken. I think
no, that doesn't break the game at all. Because it's still one model with 2 to 3 wounds.
Yeah.
It is still exceedingly killable. Other than the Callidus, it is exceedingly killable if I want it to die.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much nailed it.
Wait,
I feel the stat lines are just so lightweight. Like the melee one should be at least weapon skill 6, if not 7.
Here's a real closing stat.
Characters weapon skill 7. Why aren't these?
Which one would you take?
Stop,
the 3K
let
game?
Steve finish talking.
Oh, sorry.
You keep interrupting Steve.
Why aren't the assassins higher weapon skill for the melee ones? We have the Vindicare at ballistic skill 8. Yeah, that's a really high bar to start it off. And everything else is like, I'm a space marine. Maybe I'm a space marine veteran. Like, they don't assassinate.
No, they really don't.
They don't assassinate. We have one that says you don't have an objective, and that's like, we have one that gives you the victory points if you get through a save. But like, they don't. If you roll a 5 up on the Vindicare.
Honestly, that's about it. I feel like wholeheartedly, and I know I was talking with someone about this, it feels like this was play tested by like a completely different group of people than the Custodes, and a different group of people that were the sisters. And like, it just feels different from everything else in the book, which is the same problem the Mechanicum book had. So I was going to say, though, my closing interesting thought would be, if you had one to choose at 3,000 points, which one would you take?
There's only one right answer, and that's unfortunate. From a gameplay perspective, there's sadly only one right answer.
I'd say there's two.
I'm going to say the fun one.
I'm going to say two.
Venemony.
Really?
Venenum.
He wasn't even my top two.
Because it's cool. Because it's new, cool. Which is shiny, but also it's just cool. That one rule just is so cool. I want to see it go off. That's the only thing.
So you would take the Venom.
Yes. Not because I think it's good, but because I think it's fun. Like, really fun. It's just enough to make my opponent sweat a little bit, but not enough that it's like going to completely destroy a game.
Yeah. I think, if you're taking for good, I think the choices are fairly obvious.
Yes.
Maybe not perfect, but a lot more obvious. You obviously, you can make a very strong case for the Callidus. People can make a case for the Culexus or maybe even the Eversor. Depending on exactly what you want, what your army does, I could see the sort of arguments. If we're going for like, okay, I'm paying 125 points, I'm going to bring something fun because I don't know if any of them are going to do me that much good, because I'm not going to do that. I park this guy on an objective and like you don't get to play the game there. I'm not going to do that with the Callidus. So I want to play something for fun. Yeah, I want to go Adamus, but I know I'm just never going to get that roll to work, so that's going to bore me. So I'd probably go with the poisoner. So as soon as we're reading, all I can think, I don't know if either of you guys ever watched it, The Misadventures of Flapjack.
A
It
little
was
bit.
it was a weird, messed up show of pirates, and it's like a little kid and a different pirate and all. And in the one episode, the plague happens, and there's just these fleas, and
What
like
the
they're
fuck?
friends. So they're friends with the kid. So it's like the rats give people the fleas, but it's like the rats are his friends. So like if you're mean to him, they flick fleas on the people to plague them, and that's all I can think when I see this. So I'd run him. I would also run him, and also I think his model looks cool.
Wait, just back up. That's a kid show?
Yes.
Okay, it was on
Cartoon Network like 10 years ago.
Yeah. There's it's so weird. So they do things like candy. Candy is like their big obsession because it's a kid show. You can't show drinking pirates. So they're always eating candy. They're getting drunk looking off of candy and stuff like that. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Remember old school stuff. If you watch some of the cartoons,
Ren and Stimpy. This is reminding me of like Ren and Skimpy back in the day.
Yeah, but Ren and Stimpy's much older. And Ren and Stimpy was much more obscene, and then when they redid Ren and Stimpy, they pushed it to 11 in, I don't want to say an offensive way, but more of, offensive just because of what the show used to be and what it kind of stood for, and then they just went crazy with it to kind of like be edgy for no reason then to be edgy. Okay, which one would you take, Dan? Now you're going to take the best choice.
No. So I have run, like I said before, I have run the Callidus.
Okay.
And I have run the Culexus, right? Okay. To great effect. So I know what they do. If I had to choose one, like a next one to run, I want to run actually the Eversor. I don't own them, which is weird. I thought I did. I had to check my collection. No, I had to check my collection. I actually do not own them. I was very surprised by this. I would run the Eversor. And that is only because he seems like actual fun. Like, yes. I feel like he would actually knock a tactical squad off an objective.
Oh, yeah, he would.
AP3, and then when he blows up, he's AP3.
8 attacks. Like, he might be sweeping the squad, honestly.
Yes. He's probably going to sweep them, and you just want to, afterwards, get close to the next squad that's going to kill you and hope you kill a bunch of them in your explosion. If they move, just move after them.
He seems like fun. But I've used the Callidus, I've used the Culexus. I can go on and how useful they are. You know what's funny, Dave? I used the Callidus before the fact came out, and I didn't even think about not even shooting until someone brought it up to me. And by the time someone brought it up to me, when someone brought it up to me, I was like, oh my God. But then they fact it. But I was like, no, my God. No one should have ever thought that. Although even those rules is written, but
no, it's not that I should have thought that. That's exactly what the rules said. It wasn't even like, "Ooh, I've interpreted the rules." No, I followed your rules 100%. Your rules say, as long as I don't shoot. They needed to change it because it was a poorly written rule. I have no doubt in my mind that they probably intended until I do anything, but they 100% wrote it opposite. So, all right, closing thoughts wise, I think I would be a lot more desiring to take an assassin if, yes, it followed the old 40K, and maybe 40K does this now, I just don't know. But the old sort of rule of you set aside 125 points, almost like summoning, and then I can just bring one of them in once I'm at the game. Because now I feel I could actually do something good with it, because the problem is they all kind of work. They all kind of do something. But some of them are super limited. The Infocyte, if it's not Mechanicum, if they don't have a lot of stuff it matters against, it's a terrible choice. You're going to have a bad time. For, say, some of the other ones, the Adamus, if all their stuff is big, chunky guys with Eternal Warrior, if those are the sorts of characters they're bringing, it's not going to help you. The Eversor is nice, but if someone brought a lot of shooting, it's going to be tough because they might just shoot you down. It feels like many of them are maybe decisions to make because you want to. You like the model, you want to enjoy yourself, that's fine. But it does feel like to some extent you might be hampering your list. I would almost say for some of these choices, probably like 4 out of the 7, you'd almost bring it if you wanted to play your list down a little bit. Because, like, oh, my opponent, they don't have the option of much stuff. I'm going to bring one of these assassins. Like, hey, if they get there, they're going to do a lot of cool things. But this dude's got, like, 2 wounds. He got 3 wounds. Fire your bolters in. He's dead. You know, I'm going to move away once kind of thing. Like, I want to like them more because everyone could take them. And I would always prefer, because this hasn't always happened, I'd always prefer models that have more availability, like these do, to be overcosted than under. And for their rules, in general, I think they're overcosted. Because if it's the reverse, every single person's going to run an assassin. And if it's an obvious choice from that, everyone would have the same thing. And that's boring. We don't want that. The problem is most of them feel like very strong fluff choices and not necessarily decent game choices. And some of them feel like in the wrong matchup, it's actually going to feel negative for you owning it, for having it, for brought it. So, anything further on these guys on this shorter episode, but there was less to talk about for these guys.
8 foot 4 inches is stupid.
I'm surprised. So, slight side fact, because we're not done yet, but how were you mad at that, but you're not mad at 15-man squads? Like I am.
Because it's a multiple of 5, and it's not like it's based off of inches, which is feet.
Yeah, I have no problem
it doesn't
with 15.
work. And so 15's fine. 15's a multiple of 3. It's a multiple of 5. Like, it's functional.
It would be like if you said, hey, this squad that starts at 5, I can go up to 12. That's essentially what they've done.
Even 12 is fine, because 12 is multiple of 3 and multiple
that would
of
even
4.
annoy me more than 15.
25% is fine. No, 13 or 14. That's where you break me.
Where does a rhino? Where does a rhino stop? 13?
12.
12?
Stops at
Okay,
12.
there.
Yeah.
Like 12-man squads, I'd even be okay with. But 13 and 14, no. 16, okay, makes sense. It's just 4 squared. So the band numbers for squad sizes are 6, 7, 8, 9 for like caps, right? Even 9 is kind of functional. It's 3 by 3. So 6, 7, 8 are banned. 11 is banned. 13 is banned. 14 is banned. 17 is banned. 18 is so close to being 20. But it's also like a nice multiple of stuff. 19 is obviously banned. Yeah.
So it's like a lot of prime numbers.
All the prime numbers.
And you can't prime numbers and even numbers you don't like.
Where it's just a prime and 2 other than 10? Yeah, pretty much.
You know what? Not only I'm going to bring goddamn 13 loyalist Iron Circle just to a game.
Okay, how you break up those units? Yeah, it has to be 1 unit to break me.
Oh, okay.
Sure. All right, this one's a little bit shorter, but that's fine. Any other thoughts before I close this out? Nope. Okay, I think the silence is done. All right, well, as always, we want to thank everyone who does listen. As always, we have this available on any podcast you listen to, as well as on YouTube. For this one, since it's a little shorter, I'll probably put up the pictures of the different assassins, because in case you're just not familiar with them or haven't seen them in a bit. So I'll at least have a little bit of that interspliced. For other things coming up, so this recording happened on Wednesday because I was giving finals earlier in the week. That's why it didn't come out until Friday, as of your listening of this, potentially. Other things we're working on. So Dan and I did record a 1,000-point battle report at his house on Sunday. Not under ideal conditions because the gimbal I got, it should be better. I'm going to try to return it because it has a weird drift issue, and that can happen with those. But so I'm going to put that out. I have ideas of what I want to do in the future, but this is at least something as a starting point to kind of see. We also did some recordings around his hobby space. I have to check the audio to make sure the audio is good. If the audio is not too great, then I might just we might be re-recording a little bit of audio for it because my current phone doesn't let me plug in my audio device, but the setup that we're going for will. So we'll hopefully see some more of that soon once I can get some things off of Amazon and some other sellers and all like that. As always, we do want to I said thank you for listening. We also want to thank anyone who did like, subscribe, shares, all those sorts of things. All that helps us. For other things coming up soon, for next week's episodes, we have a variety of plans in mind of what we want to do. So we'll see exactly which one we decide upon. I am hopefully, after this recording, get these two guys to take a look at the Discord server, because I have put it all together. The hope is that as of your listening of this, there's a link for it on the YouTube and all. That is my plan for that. So to actually have that out for everyone. Beyond that, a few other things in the works, but I want to get a little further on those first. Otherwise, I think that kind of does it for all of announcements and news and everything like that for our purposes. So until next time, then, have some good hobbying and some great gaming.